Hello everybody. In this class we are going to start programming paradigm, which is also part of unit 1, and in this we are going to see imperative, object oriented, functional programming and logical programming. It's already been seen in the diagram. Programming paradigm: imperative, object oriented, functional programming and logic programming, which is divided into 4 parts. And if they ask you in the examination, they can ask you explain what do you mean by programming paradigm, or they can ask you explain or what do you mean by imperative, what do you mean by object oriented, what do you mean by functional programming, or what do you mean by logical programming. They can ask separately or they can ask combined together in programming paradigm, or they can ask you just explain with the help of an example also. So we are going to see all this in our today's class. What do you mean by imperative? Imperative are nothing but the statement of a program which is executed continuously, one after the other. As it continuously execute, it change the memory content of the memory location. We'll see this with the help of an example. The example is that the program of sequence of statement executed for each statement causes the computer change the value of memory location. So once the statements are executed one after the other, the or content of the memory locations are changes as the programs are going to execute. We are going to see with the help of an example. Let's take an example. Include main int a equal to 0, b, c. Printf, enter the value of b and c. Scanf, %d, ampersand b, ampersand c. Correct? So we have include, then we have gone a is equal to b plus c. Printf, the value of a is %d, a. This is one program. We have written it. What you have written? Include, we are taking 3 integers a, b, c. We are entering the value. We are giving the input value of b and c. We are adding b plus c to a, and then we are printing the value of a. What happened now? Let's take an example. A is stored at so and so location with value 0. B is stored at so and so location with the value whatever. Let's take an example. We have given the b value as 5. C value as 6. B as stored at somewhere, like let's take example, it is stored at 1000 location. We'll take it at 3000. It is stored at location 5. C location 2000 and value is 6. So when A is stored at 0, 3000, B, enter the value of B, we have stored this one, this. Scanf %. Now what happened? After executing this line, A becomes what? 11. Printf, the value of a. So it's part of an execution process which line by line is executed. And what happened? Once the line by line executed, what will happen? The content of the memory locations are changed. This is there. This is one example which we have given. Include std.h, a, b, a simple C language program which you know and which you have already gone through it. This is part. And I've already explained one more program here. Average of 5 numbers. In marks 5, 12, 13, there are sum is equal to initialize, sum is equal to 0, then float, because we are taking an average, so it will be in a float number. For I is equal to 0, I less than 5, because we have already taken 5 numbers, I plus plus, sum is equal to sum plus marks. First one it will take, then I become 1, then 1 less than 5, yes, it will take it this, and at the end this one. So average is equal to this much, then printf we can write the value of average. Then we can define include, just previous slide please. Include std.h and so we can, it's just a part of a program which whatever I have done it the same way. I have taken a small program, I have done it with the same thing. What we have done, include so and we have defined it, and we are changing the value of it when the programs are executed. Step by step process. If this is executed, nothing will be changed. If this executed, memory location is allotted, and what is the value of b and c is nothing. If this executed, value of b and c is stored. If this executed, If this executed value of B is taken and it's been stored, then what we are going to execute this one. What will be happen? Now the value of A will be changed, then we are going to print it. The same way it is going to do this one. This is part imperative. Imperative means executing the program line by line. Next part is object programming paradigm, object oriented. What do you mean by object oriented? It's programming paradigm based having both data and method, which is also a concept of modularity, reusability. Objects are used here, and it is a concept of object-oriented programming. Use interact with other object. We'll see an example with this one. If I tell you all those things, you'll not able to understand. Let's take an example. Sir, next slide, please. Oh, sorry, I have got it. Yeah. This is one function. This is one function. This is one function. What happened? The function has some data, that function has data, that function has data. Whatever the data is available to this function. This function cannot able to access this data. This function cannot able to access that data. So in order to access that data, it has to get in touch with the function. The data of an object can be accessed only by the function associated with the object. It can be associated with the object. However, function of one object can able to access the function of other object. This is the concept of object oriented. Means when you define a function, whatever the data you are specifying, it is used for only that function. It cannot be used for other function. The same way here also, the same way. This function is, and that I can call that function somewhere in some other function. Yes, I can call that function that part. But now, if I am writing this function, can I able to write this function name here? Yes, I can able to write it, the function name. If you see all the program like factorial or Fibonacci series, all the program functions called by function itself. This is a part of it. So, a function, the data is for that function only. Function, the data is of the function. Previous slide, please. Can I go? Yes. Now, we'll see this. Object-oriented program is a programming paradigm based upon object, having both data and method. What we have already seen in the next slide. That aims to incorporate the advantage of modularity and reusability. Objects which are usually instances of the class are used to interact one another to design the application and computer programming. See here. Object, these are all designed and they are used somewhere also. Yes, I can use this object somewhere. Yes, I can use. What is that object have? A function and a data. In order to get the data, I need to get to the function. In order to get that function, I need to know what is there, that object. This is all specified here. Okay, this is one slide. Now let's move on to this one. Programming paradigm, functional programming or application language. So applicative language. This is a part. So they can ask you, what do you mean by functional programming? Or they can ask you applicative language. So you have to explain this part. Functional programming is nothing but, is programming paradigm in which we try to bind everything purely on method. Now, before if you say what we are going, what we need to have it. We need to have A is equal to B plus C, the result. What we want, let's take an example, addition of a number. If we see what we need to calculate, the previous example, we are going to calculate the average of the number. What we are going to do it. When you write a program, what you are going to do it. Whereas function is used how to solve that one. An example is that if you are reading for examination, how you are going to write the examination. Once you get the question paper, what you will do? How you are going to solve the question paper is based upon your requirement. You can write question number 8, question number 7, question number 6 and then short answers. How you are going to solve is your problem. But what you are reading or what to solve means you have to read all the 5 units based on that one. The same way here also, functional programming is based on how to solve the program. Some of the popular functional programming languages include Lisp, Python, Haskell, Erlang, others. Correct? These are the part of it. Now let's move on to other slide. Basic functional programming terminology and concept. We have got immutable data, closure, first class function, maintainability, modularity, referential transformations. We are going to see all those things here with this one. Okay, so once they ask you about functional programming, you have to explain all this part. Let's move on to this one. Immutable data. It's already been continued. Immutable data means that you should easily be able to create a data structure instead of modifying which are already there. Means there are already a data. If you want to modify, no, you cannot want, you don't want to modify. You can easily able to create a new data. You can able to easily create a data, which is very important. Now let's take an example. I have got A, B, C. I want to add D. Fine. I can easily able to create it. New data I have already created. Is based upon that one I can able to create a new data. Modify. Instead of modifying, I don't want to modify. Let's take example. I want to get, let's take example. I will write float D. I have already specified a data D. I can able to do it that easily. I can able to, I can write, I can include a new thing in my program. A referential transparency. Functional programming should perform operation just like as first time. Let's take an example. If you are executing this program first time, what will be the output? 5 plus 6 is 11. That's it. Once you execute 1, you give the value 7 and or 8, 16. It should give you the value 16. Every time you execute the program, you are saying that it's executing from the first, from the beginning itself. Whatever the value, what previous one, it's not considered. So every time your function is executed, it will take the value, new values, and it is executing for the first time. Now a third time I executed 10 and 10. The value is 20. So every time I'm executing, I'm getting a new value, I'm getting a new output, and it is for the new first time I'm executing. It doesn't, you can able to understand that I'm executing for third time, but the computer will say you are executing for first time. This is what? Modularity. What do you mean by modularity? Modularity increase the productivity. A small module can easily be coded quickly, have a great chance of reuse, which surely lead to faster development of program. For an example, if I develop a factorial of a function, which is you have already done it, or if I use Fibonacci series, I can use anywhere in the program. Like, let's take an example. Rule number 1. Develop factorial. Rule number 2. Fibonacci series. Rule number 10. Develop GCD. So this is one module. This is one module. This is one module. They develop their part. Now, can I combine them? Yes. This become your main function. So this is different. This is rule number 1, rule number 2. I don't know who is rule number 10, rule number 1, rule number. But they are doing different part. They are developing part of the program and giving to me, or giving to the main program which is executing that part. So modularity design increase productivity. Yes. Instead of doing one person, rule number 1, all 3, rule number 1 is doing first part, rule number 2 is doing second part, rule number 3 or rule number 10 is doing the other part. So what happened? Small parts are designed by different program, are different students, and they combine together to increase the productivity. This is what? Example, if you are examination, if you are writing question number 4 and your friend is writing question number 5, what will happen? You know it. Next one, please. Maintainability. Right. Maintainability is a simple term which means functional programming is easier to maintain, as you don't need to worry about accidental changing anything outside the function. Means what? Once you develop the program, or once you develop the function, it should be used for more number of time. It doesn't need to maintain every now and then. And if the maintainability is there, it should be very simple. You can just modify. Okay, there is a problem. We have seen that you need to have a program with float number. I can just add. Maintainability, if there is once you move in, you need new requirement, you just modify the contain program, which we have already there. Okay. Others, can you just check the time, please? Time. Now we have got first class function. The next part is first class function. First class function is defined attribute of programming language entity that have no restriction on their use. Therefore, first class function can appear anywhere in the program. What do you mean by? The line says that can appear anywhere in the program. Anywhere in my program. It doesn't mean that I have to specify. Let's take an example. Main. We have decided factorial, GCD and Fibonacci series. This is one program. We have defined the integers or float, whatever it is you are having. Then you define the function. I don't want to define factorial. I don't want the factorial. I can have GCD also. I can have Fibonacci series. Or I can write printf, enter the value so and so, so and so. Then I can go for the factorial or something. We'll see in our next class.